For any potential viewers, this is what I was talking about with nested elements, where I've got the accordion widget here, and then I've got my RSS widget here, and now I need to try and style my RSS widget, but there's normally 3 tabs in Elementor, which goes Content, Styling, Advanced. There is no styling tab on the RSS widget because it's a WordPress dedicated widget, not an Elementor widget. So normally you would be inserting this into the block Gutenberg editor within WordPress, whereas I'm using a third-party plugin editor, so they can't talk to each other. Therefore, it only inherits the template default theme, which I feel like I can change that now. Now I've taught myself through that. I feel like, there's site settings. There you go. And I've got the color of links, but I haven't put in the font default. So if I change the default font of my link typography, that's primary text, secondary, accent, not accent, no, ugh.
So is this just like a VOD / content farm for your actual content?
I mean, I am just sort of doing this because I need to do this work. I'm streaming it because I enjoy streaming, and then because I am also recording natively to my desktop, then if anything video worthy comes out of it, I can just chop it up and I don't have to shoot again. So, and I'm just enjoying your company. Honestly, I get so depressed that no one will ever stream with me, because I can stream on my own, but unless you suddenly get a massive influx of engaged chat members, then there's no back and forth, which is the fun of being live.
You just sit and talking to yourself.
Yeah, and I can do that pre-recorded with more control over my image if I wanted. And there's no inherent stimuli that doesn't come from my brain, whereas if someone's here with me, it does.
The ADHD thing.
A little bit.
External stimuli.
I feel like I'm not even that bad for needing it. I'm not someone who body doubles. I can, but I'm not someone who needs to. I've trained the bit of my brain that goes, don't want to? Do it anyway. I'm quite good at that, but it's just not as fun.
Yeah. I don't like body double with people, but I've noticed that when I'm in a body double situation with someone, it's amazingly more efficient.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're talking but no audio.
I'm pretty sure it's working. Is it not?
No, it might just be a massive delay on your stream.
I mean, I was just getting a cup of tea.
Oh, you left and came back?
I left? No. I just mean I'm sipping my tea, so I wasn't talking. I know I talk a lot, but it's not all the time.
It's just concerning when it stops. It's like, oh shit.
I mean, this sounds like I was in the right profession then. My optician told me one time, this was a few visits ago now, when I still lived in Bolton, but my optician told me that I have the perfect eyes for my profession, which means staring at a very close screen all day.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It was very smart on her part, but the problem is, that's not even necessarily true, because I always find myself leaning in, not because I necessarily need to lean in to see closer, although it can help, but because my body inherently wants me to shove my chest up to the edge of the desk. So I'm still closer than I need to be.
I do a kind of hunched lean when I'm sitting at my desk.
My posture is generally great, although sometimes because I'm working on my computer and I don't want to go off the tab of work, I'll then get my phone and I end up craning down, and I know that's bad for me. I can't remember the name of my font right now. Comic Nue maybe? No, that's another one. Oh, it's not Anton. Anton's my title font. Oh, it's literally on this other widget that I can just click on and check. Why do I always do this to myself?
I always find widget to be a funny word.
Oh my god, I had a previous employer and I was explaining to them the concept of a sticky widget. They took none of the explanation and they just locked onto that. And then anytime we talked web design for the following year, they took any opportunity to mention sticky widget. I think because they understood it, therefore they latched on to make it sound like they could follow the conversation. They could never follow the conversation. It was hardcore boomerism trying to still be important.
Just I understand this one term, and then everything after that, it's so is this a sticky widget? This is a sticky widget, isn't it?
Oh, it was so bad. The thing is, right, you want to hate them because they make it doing the job so difficult, but you can see when they really try. The problem is, you constantly learn things as you use a tool for longer, and you set stuff up initially in a way that, yeah, that works, for the situation I'm in now, but you don't realize it doesn't work universally. So then you learn how to use the universal tools, and then you constantly keep finding stuff that old you didn't do properly and you have to fix it, which I do great when I come into other people's websites and do that because I look amazing. Advent Pro, that's the font. Oh, thank God. Right, okay. I got there.
She got
Feel like the RSS feed widget is as nice as it's gonna get.
Don't know what that is, but okay.
Now I need to... Okay, we're saving those changes. So the global settings are up to date. And then we're exiting the site settings after that saves. And then we'll purge the caches once I'm done editing the whole page. Did you know there's like multiple layers of caching?
Like vaguely, but not enough to understand what that means.
What do you think you know?
That there's like various levels of storing stuff. I don't want to be fucking really obvious, but in a cache, you know, like, so when you've got that cached memory, you can separate it into segments via like importance or whatever it might be. You can set like the criteria for what you would want stored and in what order, and what order you want it to be accessed in, I believe.
You're not a million miles away, although that's not inherently the point. So like with caching, the idea is it's something that is preloaded, so when you want to access it, you can access it faster. So I think there's a third layer as well that it's a bit more devy, so I struggle with it. But the two that I focus on is there's server caching and there's browser caching. So the server cache is the version that you have stored in the back end of your website, and that's like what your service provider has saved. And then if you request it, if you put a request in for that information, it sends the cached version. And then if they make an update and don't update the cache, then you're working with an old version that gets automatically pulled. So if you want to make sure that you have the freshest version possible, you have to purge your caches and get a new one. So when I'm working in the back end of my website, if I want a change to be immediately visible to anyone who's been on my website before, then their browser cache will have the old version of the page that they visited before, unless they purge their caches. So we both have to like purge in order for the freshest version to be visible to a returning viewer.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Yeah.
Kinda. I mean, my understanding of like cache memory is to do with like processing, like on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like in the actual CPU, you have like a CPU cache where it can store commands that's like most frequently used, so that it can kind of call back that stuff without like using more CPU than already is.
Yeah, so that command means a set of processes, but if you wanted to change the process, you need to purge the cache.
Yeah, kind of.
So yeah, every time I'm designing a web page, I try and... because I want to test it, and sometimes you're testing it, you need to purge the cache so you can even view the test, which is really inconvenient. But ideally, I'll just finish the website update, and then I can purge once.
I see.
But my site settings need to exit so I can access the widgets again, so I can stylize this accordion widget, because most boxes on my website have rounded corners with a nice little border.
Is it a sticky widget?
No, it's not. Although I could make it a sticky widget if I wanted.
I don't even know what a fucking sticky widget
Do you not know? Do you know what a widget is?
Like not in any way that I could probably be like, yeah, I know what a widget is.
So any element.
It's like a little thing that you can like insert onto a web page to like do its own thing.
Yeah, any element that it's a widget. Like not just on a website, like on a games menu, like anything that you can interact with, click, view, any element that's not like the background basically, and can be isolated, is a widget. And it tends to be in the drag and drop sense when you're doing that sort of stuff. A sticky widget means as you scroll, it follows you.
Ah, okay.
So like my single page template, my single post template, my single post template that I use for my blog posts, I have a sidebar that I've designed, and the bottom widget is an ad. And obviously I would like to generate more revenue from my website. So I have the ad widget is sticky, so it follows as people scroll and read down the page.
Oh, I fucking hate those.
But it's not like an overlay. It's not a pop-up. It's friendly.
It's not completely toxic, right? It's just like the same amount of toxic as every other website.
The whole reason people are on the page is because I'm providing valuable content for free. I get something from it. I don't have any ads on my shop pages because they're buying my shit.
You keep telling yourself that, John.
It's literally true. And I have never earned enough from ad revenue on my website to be able to even cash out my Google AdSense yet. You need to have like £60, and I barely broke 1.5.
Oof,
I
that's rough.
know. But the thing is, like, getting approved for Google AdSense in itself is difficult. It's like a milestone to even pass the checks. People say, oh, you only need like 10 good pages. It's not true. I do know once I hit monetization threshold, YouTube would generate ad a lot quicker than my website, but your website is the only place on the internet you truly ever own.
Really?
Well, yeah, anything else, you're just using a service that's provided by someone else. Like, social media could shut down your account any day. Technically, my hosting provider could shut me down right now, but I could...
I was going to say, like, technically your website is on a host thing, so, like, if they shut down, your website's gone.
Technically, yes, but if I bought a server, I could have it here and no one could stop me.
True. I mean, you don't really fucking own anything anymore, do you?
Yeah, but your website is like your only online presence that, like, you'll never get censored on your own website. Your service provider doesn't give a shit about that.
Some do.
Unless you're doing a legal activity and they're actually, like, checking for it, then no.
Was there not a whole... Was that not one of the whole things about, like, payment processing and, like, adult content?
Payment processors care,
like,
but that's not your website. The content will remain. Whether you can get paid for it...
I'm sure there was something about service providers not being happy with certain stuff that, like, wasn't sketchy content, you know what I mean? It was just...
If people try and insert their moral principles on that basis, then they're just going to lose customers, which is exactly what happened with Tumblr. It lost a third of its user base during the porn ban. And they've completely reneged on that. You can put porn up now. You have to tag it as adult content, but you can... They also have a way of, like, people paying content creators. You can pay for porn on Tumblr now, but they already lost the user base. They need a new one to age up.